Hey, it's Jake from Rane, and I'm here with Music Radar just to go through a little bit about the Rane System One. So the Rane System One is basically the world's first all-in-one motorized device. And it's running Engine DJ. It also has this great omni-source mode where you can connect Serato and other sources to work all together in the same system. So not only is it the world's first standalone motorized controller, but it's also the world's first that does onboard stems rendering. So you don't have to go through a computer, laptop, or you don't have to render it on somewhere else to bring it in. You've got it all in the box there. Standalone gear couldn't do that before because of the processing power. Now we've got a new processor that gives us the ability to render a track by just swiping on it or loading it to a certain playlist, the stems playlist, and then it'll split it into 4. It'll take a minute to just render it all, and then you've got it on your drive rendered for whenever you need to use it. So you don't have to re-render. It's just saved to your drive, and you can just load it to track, and you can play with it in 4 different ways as well. You can play with it on the stems pads, which you can see down there at the bottom, and you can play with it in the acapella and instrumental override buttons, and you can play with it on the stems levels, which is switching between an EQ mode or the stems level mode. So that gives you a lot of possibilities for creativity on the System One. It goes for the traditional Rane DJ, which is a turntablist, and that's a very strong product for that market. But as well, you can also switch off the motor. So you can kind of use it you can use it with motor switched off if you're that kind of DJ. So it has that versatility, but yeah, if you take the traditional Rane user, which is a turntablist or a hip hop or scratch DJ, that works very, very well. But as well, if you're an event DJ or you do weddings, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, whatever it is, it's got that all-in-one feature set that is really, really useful for that sort of market. The fact that you've got Engine running on this and it's bringing together a family, like if you're a Serato user, you can connect it with OmniSource, and that's the key there. And OmniSource opens a lot of doors to the way you play and what sources you use and what DJ you are. One of my personal favorites, and it's a small thing, but I love the playlist banks, because you've got 3 banks where you can save a playlist from, it could be your Serato creator, it could be an Engine playlist, but you can put things in there like your emergency go-tos. So something you want to bring the life back to the party, or common song requests, and you can just add songs to that playlist as you go. You got that as an instant press. You've got that playlist straight up on your screen. So yeah, it's available now. You can try it out in all the stores that are near you that support DJ equipment, and it's €24.99.
Hello, my name is Nick. I'm working for Reloop, and I'm here to show you some of our new products. We are at Thomann DJ Days, and welcome to our booth. Right here I have a bunch of products. There's a Xone 8 Pro in the middle and 2 RP7s on the sides. Behind we have some of our cases for records, and then we have our brand new PTB-2 small portable mixer, Mixto Pro, our new RP5000 turntable, an Elite mixer, and the RP7000. So I'm here basically to talk about one of our newer products, which is the RP7, the PTB-2. And as these match good together, small size turntable, small size mixer. So we had thought that this makes sense to bring it to you. So the RP7 is basically a small version of an RP7000 or RP5000, but only for 7-inch. So if you would not be able to play any 12-inch records here. We don't have the space for it. So we focus on having this form factor more than having the flexibility of which record you're going to play. And the talk is decent on a professional level. So our standard and our idea was that you don't have any compromise on pro features that you're missing on such small deck, so that you don't have the problem of any kind of low torque or not enough pitch value. So all the pro features are inside. You are able to switch between phono and line, so that you also could use mixes without a phono preamp, which is pretty useful if you want to use DVS mixing, for example. Currently the RP7 gets, so a few units are still out there which get an algorithm DJ vinyl included. So if you are lucky, one of the lucky ones, congrats, and try out to use it with DVS as well. In this particular setup, we tried to focus to show you how to use algorithm DVS with the Mixon 8 Pro. You could basically use the jog wheel at the same time as the vinyl, which is pretty good for people that are more used to digital DJing and might try some kind of analog feeling. So you could try and think about maybe it's worth to use DVS with a smaller turntable with a digital mixer or a digital controller or similar, because it's very small and compact, but you still have like all these options that only record players have, like the needle, putting on different positions, having the pitch values, the turn on, turn off is always different with a turntable. So if you like into this stuff, this could be also interesting for you. Besides this, of course, there's a 7-inch community out there, and we really try to bring you something that makes everybody happy, that loves one-to-one record playing. So one record after another on vinyl purist. Yeah, thank you for that. And beside this, we have the PTB-2. This is a portable mixer. So the mixer has the opportunity to be bus powered from your phone. You could also bus power it from a power bank or from a computer or iPad or similar. It's based on USB-C. You could also put a power plug, so you charge your device while you're mixing, because it would be bad if you're mixing and then suddenly your battery goes off. It does have a crossfader, so it's also good for portable scratching if you want to use like turntables with it. If you just want to have a small sized mixer, I don't know, for your flat room or for playing some music in a bar or similar, you also have a good option here, because you also have a Bluetooth opportunity. So you could also just connect via Bluetooth from your friends or whatever and play music. You have 2 decks, which you can switch between line and phono, and DVS. So you could also connect this with DVS and algorithm and play directly from your phone and scratch and all these kind of stuff. On the front, you have opportunities to adjust the curve adjust of the crossfader and your Q volume. And yeah, that's a very basic opportunities, but very small sized. And that was the idea. So it fits basically in a small package like this. And I could already have a small setup. Yeah, that's basically what we got new at the moment. And if you have the chance to test one of our products in person, I would highly recommend you to give it a try and let us know what you think.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm from Ecler and I'm here with Music Radar, and I like to present a little bit what's going on with Ecler, how we came into the market. We are a very traditional old company. We have started 60 years ago manufacturing electronic products for the entertainment section in Barcelona. So we are a company based out of Catalonia, Barcelona, as I told you. And the DJ division, Ecler, is specialized into traditional, vintage, rotary, analog, and linear mixers. Everything which you're gonna see here on the mixers, starting from the new 2.0, Warm 2, new 4.0 Foxtrot and the Warm 4 are manufactured and assembled in Barcelona. So this is a European product. As what you can see here, the new 4.F as the latest developed mixer which we're going to have in the market. We have two versions, a silver one and a black version. Both versions have got a low pass and a high pass filter, so it makes it more interesting of creating some mixes, mashups, whatever. And it's a 4-channel mixer, so it's good for clubbing and so on. Then on the other hand, we have a classic 2-channel rotary mixer. It's coming up with the Bakelite knobs which you're gonna have here. You have isolators here which you can work for. You can do a battle mix with this kind of mixer. And this has been used as well, is already used as well in the hi-fi section for the people. So people, they're investing in their home theater, whatever, they're using as well this kind of mixers. Then for clubs, we have developed the 4-channel mixer, which you can see you have more isolators here on the side, and you have 4 channels for your turntables, whatever. So with auxiliaries and so on. Then we have the classy one. It's called the new 2.0 mixer. It's a battle mixer, 2-channel linear mixer, which is almost 21 years on the market. Last year, as you can see, we have celebrated 20 years of anniversary of Ecler newer mixers. We have started with DJ mixer for over 40 years ago with everything. So for electronic music, we had 3-channel mixers and so on. So we are based into only analog stuff. We don't have any kind of controllers. We're going ahead with this kind of products, and we stay with the analog sound. This is what we love. What makes them unique is that when you're gonna play with this kind of mixers, it's more smooth for, let's say, northern soul music, for funk. You can play a little bit more around. You can do more mashups with this in a more nicer, smooth way of getting in. You know, with this kind of mixer, you're going up, then you're going down, but here you can play a little bit around with this kind of things. The handling is more smooth. It's a different kind of DJing, but it's lovely. Like Grandmaster Flash, he has played with such a kind of mixer, as an example. There is a special kind of market where the people still love the analog stuff, and it's coming up again. Take a look at the vinyls, at the EPs. When you take a look like at the big stars, everybody's doing a vinyl EP at the moment. Because the people, when they're coming back home, they have a turntable. They want to sit down, have a glass of a good red wine or a good whiskey, and celebrating and like to listen to good music. And so this is the people why they love the analog and not the digital sound.
Hi, my name is Lars. I'm the Xone product specialist at Audio-Technica Germany. Audio-Technica Germany is a distributor of Allen and Heath in Germany. So today I'm going to introduce you the brand new Xone 24C, which you can see here. And the new Xone K3 MIDI controller, a really nice one, solid build MIDI controller, tour ready, club ready, for professional use. Both products have a street price for 225 euros street price, and this has 475. The advantage of the Xone 24C is a small, compact 2-channel DJ mixer with a 3-channel integrated high-quality audio interface, which works on 96 kHz and 24 bits. The cool stuff about it is that we have on the back side the USB-C connection to connect any device like PCs, iPad, Android, that's like Mac. The audio interface is class compliant. On top, we have a USB hub for transmission storage data and storage data from a USB stick. So I have access over the MIDI controller on the DJ software on my USB stick on my playlist. I'm going to show later in the workshop here. And on top, we have the connection for MIDI controlling. So that is actually how it works here. We have here the controller, which controls DJ for an algorithm on this iPhone, which is connected to the Xone 24C and giving these audio signals out on the 2 channels of the Xone 24C. This is the successor of the Xone 22 and Xone 23. My first Xone mixer was the Xone 22. It's actually the entrance product to get into the Xone world. And actually with this audio interface and this possibilities to control a DJ software over iPhone, over the K3, it's also a mobile, a nice setup for mobile DJs, which we didn't access in the last year, which was not our focus. Now we have a little focus, well, not a focus, but we have also the possibility to supply this market a bit with this setup, because we are more known for club mixers, professionals. So it's a good mobile setup. I think this is my barbecue setup to perform a little DJ set with some friends when we catch up, little PA system, so have some fun. It's also a really nice, DJ entry starting setup if I want to start with a DVS system. It's also a nice mixer for working with vinyl, because the phono preamps are taken from the Xone 96 and the Xone 92 of the MK2. I'm a vinyl DJ actually. I played vinyl until 2016, then I started also with digital. And I always use, since almost 20 years I'm using Xone, and as I mentioned already, the Xone 22 was my first Xone mixer, where it's also a pretty nice mixer, good sound quality if you want to mix original vinyl. But also useful for using DVS systems.
Hi, I'm Sibran Dijkstra from DJ.Studio. I'm here with Label Radar on Thomann's DJ Days, and I'd like to show you what DJ.Studio is. DJ.Studio is a DAW for DJs. And when you want to make a DJ mix, you basically have 3 options. Option 1, we all know, that's your expertise. That's turntable on the left, turntable on the right, and depending on the amount of money or the age of your gear, a lot of knobs and a lot of functions. This is an art that you are able to execute and practice. I'm not, I'm a wannabe DJ, so I want to do something on a computer. So for me, the other option is playing with Ableton or Ableton Live, Logic Pro or Fruity Loops, but those are made for producers and not for DJs. They have a really steep learning curve, and they are made to create a track. A DJ is playing with complete mastered tracks and wants to subtract information to get 2 tracks merged together. So that's why we came up with DJ.Studio, and this is a DAW specifically for DJs. So we connect to your local music library. You don't need to do any importing. So we have 2 options. You can make a DJ mix or you can make a mashup. A DJ mix is for a radio show or a set preparation or a wedding planning, and a mashup is for mashing up those cool old tracks with modern music, or when you have to make the first dance track, for example. We connect to your local music, so whatever you have, Rekordbox, Serato, Virtual DJ, DJ Pro, we got you covered. We also connect to Beatport, so if you want to play with streaming music, no problem. We have an integration with Beatport to stream music and to buy music. So also for discovery, it's ideal. We help you order your playlist. So if you have a long radio show you need to make, you have the 20 tracks that you need to play. Now you need to know the ordering. A press of a button and we help you. We've got something that's called harmonic mixing, and when you harmonize, we transfer the playlist on the left to the playlist on the right. You only see 15 tracks over here. You know how much combinations you have? That's the faculty of the number of tracks. So that's 1.3 trillion combinations. That's a lot. So when you press a button, we don't do the 1.3 trillion, but we do a few 100 million, and we come up with a good playlist ordered on tempo and key. The studio itself, where we are different from other DAWs, is that we are a DAW for DJs. So we have deck 1 and deck 2, and you go from the outgoing track to the incoming track. And over here, this blue window, that's where the magic is happening. This is the transition window. Here you see the automation of volume going in and volume going out. Well, DJs call it a crossfade. So we call it a crossfade. And by simply pressing this crossfade button, you get a crossfade in this area. There's also a bass swap, the yellow line. Well, if you say for the bass, I want to do the swap, you get a bass swap in your mix. Transition, easy peasy. If you don't like this position, you can grab these tracks or the window and you can place them in a different position where the transition, in a different transition. Next step, we have stem separation. So this transition window, with a press of a button, we show you the drum, the bass, the melody and the vocal. And this way you can remove vocal clashes easily by simply switching off the vocal, or you can paint in the automation of the individual lanes. And then we have something uber cool, and that's our beat gridding. We have the best beat gridding algorithm in the world. Well, it's not an algorithm, it's AI. And we crafted it for the last 2 years and we perfected it, and now we are always spot on. Always. We always have the first beat right, we always have the downbeat right. No matter if you play Come On Eileen or Bohemian Rhapsody, we have you covered. No matter the tempo, you see the tempo going up over here and there. Hey, and Come On Eileen, they're going from 107 BPM to 214 BPM. That's a steep way. Well, we follow it with the metronome and we enable you to redrum a track like this. Last thing, if you want to scratch, if you have transitions that are not in key and you need to go from one track to the other, normally you scratch in the new track and you echo out the old track. Hey, we have a transition preset for it and we enable you to design your own scratches. So we're now in the studio and where you can make a DJ mix or a mashup. For the DJ mix, this is the longer mix where you have lots of tracks. So let's grab some tracks from my record box, and there is these 30 tracks. When we import the tracks, we analyze the key, we generate the AI beat grid, and we take a few seconds for it. And this is taking time. Actually, it's extremely fast. But when you're waiting, yeah. Okay, so in here you see the whole bird's eye view of your mix. Deck 1 and Deck 2. So this is already easy for you to play around and order the ordering of your tracks. Here is the playlist. And in the playlist you see the key and you see how compatible they are with the previous track. And you can manually drag and drop these tracks. But I also showed you the harmonize function. And in the harmonize we can help you order your track with just key up, key down, like you're used to the traffic light system in Recordbox. Or we can do mood mixing, where we have more options for you to add energy to your mix. And this playlist, let's order it and give the algorithm 15 seconds time. And this is 15 seconds, but imagine what's happening in the meantime. We're making millions and millions and millions of combinations to see what would be the perfect order for your tracks. So we end up with about 444 million combinations, and now you see the list is completely harmonized. And harmonized means that we have one track at the start. We start fast, by the way, and then we go down and then we go up again. So harmonizing on key and tempo. And once you have this harmonized, you can go to the studio where you see the track. This is the transition window, and over here you see the phrases. I didn't tell you, but we do phrase detection. So I can grab this blue window and I can drag it over the phrases. As you can see, it's magnetic to the phrases. So let's have it over here, and this track, have it over there. And with 2 clicks of a button, I have a good transition. The volume transition is in here. Let's zoom into this transition. There is the crossfade and there's the bass swap. Let's remove a few beats for the bass swap. And maybe I like to add some effect in here. The outgoing track, maybe a filter on it. Well, we have you covered with the filter. So let's filter this one out like this. And let's add some noise. We can add risers or a swoosh. Well, a riser is fine over here. And Here we go. And now when I play this transition, the transition sounds good. Oh, by the way, I don't wear my headphones because I know this transition is good. And here we transition out of the old song into the new one. Okay, I'm in a boring part of the track, but anyway. In here you see the extremes of the beat gridding. This is the Come On Eileen track I talked about. And what you see over here is that it's going up from 109 in this case to 222 BPM. If you listen to it, and I'll switch on the metronome, then you can see that we are following the tempo. So now you hear the metronome going perfectly with this tempo. This is important because everything we put on the sample lanes in here will follow the original groove or tempo. So let's go to a Black Eyed Peas track over here, and in this track let's look at the stems, and I grab the drum sample over here and I copy it to the sample lane. Well, here is my drum. I can bring it to Come On Eileen, and this drum I can extend it over here, and the super cool thing now, here we go, and here is the new drum, and you hear that we are perfectly following the tempo of Come On Eileen. Well, Come On Eileen, you hear the original drum as well, so with the press of this button we can mute the original stem. So now I'll just put it in front first. Here you hear the original drum, and now the original drum is removed and the new drum is in place. So we literally redrum one of the most difficult tracks to redrum on the planet. So over here we have a track, David Guetta, Murder on the Dance Floor, a nice build up, and here's the drop. And in this drop I'd like to add a really nice old hip hop song, Supertonic. So here's Supertonic. I can press the show stems button. Here she is singing. Let's have a listen. Here she goes. Sounds perfect. I can mark this vocal and copy this to the vocal lane, bring it over to Murder on the Dance Floor, zoom in a little bit, align the bars in here. The vocal is a little bit soft, so let's add some compression and raise the gain a bit. Here you see we can add the gain, and now it will sound like this. And so easy to make mashups of old songs in a new jacket.